first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Utari Aprliyani Dumbela, and I'm from Class B English Department 2018. So this time, I will explain a little about the difficulties in listening comprehension, and if I become a teacher, what will I do to make my student understand about the skills. So the purpose I'm making this project is to complete the mid-semester assignment from the Teaching English as a Foreign Language from Mrs. Muziatun. So the first about the meaning of listening. So listening is one aspect of English that emphasizes our understanding of listening to English, either directly or through media such as music or films. And listening is the first stage of language learning sequence, both English and other languages. Listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret message in the communication process. Listening is the key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood. Listening is the learning process of receiving, interpreting, recalling, evaluating, and responding to verbal and non-verbal message. The next about the reason why I chose the listening comprehension. So listening is one of most important of English skills of English language learning. Students have critical difficulties in listening comprehension skills because in university or schools pay more attention just to writing, reading, and vocabulary. Listening is an important material in English because we have to be able to see what the people are saying to us. The third about why the listening feels difficult. So there are many things that cause people to find it difficult to learn listening. The first is about the many accent in English. The second about the lack of vocabulary and pronunciation. The third about the loss of concentration, and the last is about the wrong learning strategies. So the process of the learning listening cannot be done instantly because it takes a relatively longer time to get used to French voice from English. Okay, we move to the next discussion. So this part explain about if I become a teacher, what will I do to make my student understand with the listening comprehension. So being a teacher is not always easy to do. Moreover, teaching English, especially listening, and even for those who are professional, they will not always be able to and understand the material or teaching style. And often teachers in practice are less able to teach listening that is easily understood by students, and this results in my students failing the listening exam and having to repeat them. So therefore, a teacher who is a facilitator should have the skills to be able to make students feel easy in learning listening. So there are several techniques if I become a teacher when I teaching in the listening class. So the first have a filling gap. So filling gap, the techniques can be done by blanking a few words in a paragraph of dialogue. Have students listen to the spoken text of the teacher or tape and fill in the blank words. Next, the second technique have a finding mistake. So this technique is done by asking to listen to the spoken text and underlining the words that are not in accordance with the spoken text. The third technique have a range learning sentences. So this technique is done by giving gaps in sentences or paragraphs to students. Students are asked to listen to the spoken text and arrange the sentence or paragraph correctly. So the next have reasoning and argumentation techniques. So this is the describe or explain the reasons for a material that is considered difficult, so that students understand more. So the next have a focus and point based technique. So the teaching based on valid points, so that it helps students not to forget easily. For example, like teaching back one of the important point in listening and increasing vocabulary. So the last have a honesty technique. So the teacher are obligated to instill a courageous attitude to express ignorance to students. The goal is that students are able to correct their learning methods and further improve their ability in listening.